Hey y'all, Mike with Cardboard Kingdom here, back with another Disney Lorcana Market update video. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the D23 2024 Collector's Box. We're going to talk about some of the Enchanted reveals that we've gotten thus far for Shimmering Skies. Going to take a look at a couple of the market things, and then we'll get out of here. So I know with the D23 Collector's Box, a lot of people had questions on how to acquire it. I think a lot of details are still coming out. We're roughly 10ish days until those boxes are available. I think they're going to be available starting on the 9th, the same day as the Shimmering Skies release. We did get some additional details at the D23 event, at least on the 9th, 10th, and 11th. It says that they will. Disney fans of Disney Lorcana will be able to buy the limited edition Disney Lorcana TCG D23 collector set available at our booth. Purchase limit of 2 per person, and their booth is at the uh, Anaheim Convention Center, and the show opens at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I don't know when you need to get there. I don't know what the craziness will look like. I know it opens at 9 and it's going to sell out immediately, right? So I can say that confidently. If you get there, you're going to be able to get 2, but it is going to sell out immediately. And so plan accordingly if you want to get it. Once again, they are $99 and they're going to sell for a lot more than that on secondary, even the second you buy it. So I know that will be a thing. So that is available. Now, one thing to keep in mind here, guys, is this is not going to be the same as the first version. It's not going to go to $8,000. These are going to be much more widely available. Lorcana is much more widely known now, and there's a lot more supply of these boxes. It's not going to go to the moon immediately. It's definitely not going to be a 8,000 extra turn or whatever, but it will. They're really cool cards. It's going to be it's an awesome little collector's box. Definitely something I want to get my hands on, but don't buy it thinking it's going to turn into the 2022 version of this box, because it just simply isn't. Okay. So some good caveats there. I'll continue to try to keep you guys posted as more details come out about these. Um, they've there's still several events that I haven't been able to find information for. So with that being said, I will continue to update you guys when I see them. But for now, the D23 conference in Anaheim show starts at 9. These are going to sell out immediately. So get in line, run to the booth, and buy however many they have available. It does not say how many they have available. It just says a limited amount, and that you will be able to buy 2. So that is what we know for the event in Anaheim, at least at their booth at the D23 event. We haven't taken a look since I was out, or not out, but I didn't make a lot of videos last week. We haven't talked about the Mirabel Enchanted reveal. This is by far my favorite Enchanted that we've gotten thus far. I think that the artwork looks gorgeous. I love that and this is a set champ card for Shimmering Skies, I should point out. But I think they did a great job with this card. I think that they did a great job picking the character. I think they did a great job with the artwork. And overall, I think this card is going to be an awesome one to collect and just have in the collection. An important note here, and this interview is done by comicbook.com. They interviewed the head of the organized play at Ravensburger. Her name is Megan Hansen, Global Organized Play Manager for Lorcana. And she gave a lot of really good insights in here, but one that stuck out to me was, we know players want more opportunities to get cool stuff. We're looking at ways we can adjust set championship pricing. For this set championship and the next, so whatever comes after Shimmering Skies, we're increasing the promo cards per event to 8, and we'll be making more adjustments next year. So some interesting takeaways there is, first of all, there's going to be eight of the Mirabels available at every set championship. So that means that obviously a lot more pricing to go around. That means there's going to be a lot more of these readily available. The number of stores that is doing the organized play is going up set after set after set in terms of the amount of stores that are enrolled in organized play. That in combination with the fact that there's going to be double the just overall supply of the trophy cards due to the fact that the top 8 get prizing, I think that has a lot of benefits for Stitch and Ursula. specifically Stitch, more so than Ursula, but Ursula as well. We'll see what happens over the next 2 sets, Shimmering Skies and whatever set 6 is, because it says that they're going to do it for those 2 sets in terms of the top 8 pricing. Be very interested to see after that if they go back to the 4 to the top 8. I think it's really cool that more people are going to get cards, obviously from a collectability standpoint and kind of price charting standpoint. Double the supply is gonna make the card not nearly as desirable from a rarity perspective and collector's perspective. With that being said, the card's gorgeous and I want to add it to my collection, so the more the merrier in that sense. With that being said, once again, when we look at some of the promo cards, like specifically the Stitch and the Ursula, I think that, let's see here, what do I got this filtered to? Oh, sealed. I don't want sealed. When we look at the Stitch specifically here first, Stitch was the first trophy card in Lorcana, first set championship card. It was at that point the lowest amount of stores that were offering organized play in the set championships. This card is very hard to grade. If you're new to my channel, I'm a big proponent of grading and having cards that are very hard to grade in my collection. This being one of them, this card gets a gem grade sub 50% of the time. Last I looked, there were less than 300 in the total population. A lot had been graded, only 300 in population or in PSA 10. Right now you can get this card for 300. Keep in mind this card was very steadily above a $700 market price a few months ago. So we've seen a huge retrace here. And when we start to think about, once again, the first trophy card in Lorcana, the amazing artwork, an awesome character, iconic IP, that in combination with the fact that we are looking at a set champs that was the first one, had fewer store participants, and only had 4 that were given out in top pricing. You then look at the, things like the Mirabel, they're going to have 8, and then the set 6 that are going to have 8. I think the same can be said for Ursula's Return with a lot smaller of a margin there, because I don't think the artwork is as good. I think there was kind of some Ursula fatigue, if you will, between her getting her first Enchanted in set 3, then getting another Enchanted in set 4, then getting an Ursula's Return promo in set champs promo in set 4. There's just a lot going on with Ursula at the moment. Now that is not necessarily going to affect its collectability long term in terms of when these cards came out, but I think that this card is a lot less collectible than the Stitch, but that does not mean that it's not collectible at all. You can see that it's kind of evened out around 140 right now, give or take. Looks like there's quite a bit of buy pressure there at the 140 point. It was down at 140, then it shot back up. There's definitely plenty of demand for this card, right? When you look at the overall sales, this is just a great reminder. A few weeks ago, people were paying $450 for this card. Great reminder not to FOMO into these cards. If you wait, your patience will be rewarded, as it typically is. Got down to 140, bounced back up to 160s. And now it's back down to around 140. I think 120 is probably a fair price point to look to get into this card. That's probably what I'll be waiting for. If this follows the same trajectory as the Stitch, it just kind of continued to trail off over time. Now, obviously, a lot more people can afford this card at the 150 price point versus the 300 price point that Stitch is at. But at the end of the day, I think this card is going to continue to come down in price. But when we look at the Mirabel, I think this does add some collectability to the Ursula with, once again, fewer set champ stores that are participating in organized play, in combination with the Mirabel is getting 8, Ursula only got 4. So a couple, just feathers in the cap of the Stitch and the Ursula as it comes to supply versus demand. I think that both of those cards are going to be very collectible long term. Stitch remains one of the most collectible cards, in my opinion, in Disney Lorcana, given the provenance that it has. I do think that this is probably, I would still put Rockstar Stitch above this in terms of set champs artwork, in my opinion. I do think that this would beat the Ursula, though. And maybe it's just like the amber vibe, like the gold. Maybe that's kind of what's putting me across or over the finish line on these two. But I just think that that these cards look awesome. I mean, this card in person just pops. Absolutely love this card. Couldn't be a bigger fan of it. I think this card's going to look gorgeous as well. I think the art is tremendous. The artist did a great job here. So that's where we're at for the set champs for Shimmering Skies and our Enchanted reveal there. Now, going through some of the other Enchanteds that we've seen thus far, they have definitely gone with a new I don't know, design, I guess would be the way to call it. They're a lot more colorful. The text box, like the bottom of the cards, are a little bit different colors. Text boxes are different. Overall, it's just a very different vibe. So they're kind of leveling up or changing the way that they're doing these. This one is for Prince and Naveen, ukulele player from Tiana. It's a very good card just from a playability standpoint. Art, I don't hate. I don't love it. I don't hate it though. I think these newer enchanted styles are gonna have to take a little bit of time to grow on me. I'm never a huge fan of change. I kind of once I fall in love with something, it's like I like it the way it is. And so when give me like a Carefree Surfer Stitch, Cindy, really any of these enchanteds, like I don't know, like this is like me being a boomer. It's kind of like the WotC Pokemon stuff. It's like the new art is so cool, but something about me just being a 90s kid, it's like I want the WotC stuff, even though it's like arguably worse art. To me it's better. Maybe that's the same vibe that we're gonna get from these new alt arts. But at the end of the day, I think that the cards look really cool, but I still prefer the original enchanteds for now. That may change. Maybe they'll grow on me right after we get a couple sets of them if they continue to go with this style of art. Maybe they'll grow on me, but for now I wasn't head over heels when I saw them, to be completely honest. My favorite is probably second, the Donald Duck, and this was a good, like, I thought that maybe just the Donald Duck was going to be the more colorful version or artwork, but it looks like it's kind of the trend throughout. I do think this card is very cool. Standing on the pile of food, you can see the cookies at the bottom, all the food flying everywhere. I just think it's a really cool card. A lot of colors, right? Very bright. So we'll see. That would probably be my second favorite thus far. The Archimedes is not my favorite. I don't love that artwork. Probably my least favorite thus far in terms of just the enchanted arts that we've gotten. And then last but not least, the Royal Tantrum. This one is actually probably my favorite. It's an action card, right? So it's not going to be as valuable. These are typically a little bit less valuable of chase cards. But at the end of the day, I think it's my favorite just with the design overall, the colors. I think it looks really, really cool. It wouldn't make sense from like a collab standpoint, but if Scrooge McDuck was somewhere in this card, like just as a one-off, I think that would just be cool because I think of money when I think of Scrooge McDuck and gold coins. Keep in mind with this set, there are some additional alt arts. There are the Prince John that comes in the Disney Villainous box, right? So if you're at Target specifically, keep a lookout in the board game section. When you see Disney Villainous that is also made by Ravensburger, there is a Prince John alt art. If you want to collect that comes in that box. It will have a Disney Lorcana sticker on it, and I have seen them out in the wild, so they are available, right? They may still definitely be coming, but there are some out in the wild. And then the half Hexwell Crown confetti foil from Ursula's Return. Don't want to spoil too much there, but that is an alt art for set 5 as well, for the Deep Trouble Quest box. So there are additional alt arts this time, not just the enchanteds. Hopefully we continue to get some more alt arts and art types, right? I am less and less confident now about the no enchanted locations for this set, as well as the just like give us a new art style. I think that they're doing a lot for the collectors, right? I think they're definitely taking care of us, especially with these boxes coming out and offering us different alt arts apart from just enchanteds. I would still love to see a different style of art and art type. And I think that will come, right? Ravensburger has shown that they're definitely listening to the community. They've shown that they are paying attention to the collector base as well as the player base. And so I think overall, we're gonna get some new stuff. It just might not be Shimmering Skies, right? A lot of this stuff was printed so long ago, and so I think that we've just ultimately got some time to come there. With that being said, I'm curious what you guys think on the Enchanted's price points for this set. So we've seen all of the Enchanted prices come down over time, right? From really all of the first 4 sets. When we look at the Enchanteds in this set, they're definitely my least favorite from an artwork perspective when you compare it to the first set. And so I'm curious what you guys think of where these cards will land. Because some of these cards, like I feel like they're just criminally undervalued, but at the end of the day, it's not what I the market prices it what the market is, right? My opinion doesn't matter when it comes to the pricing of these cards. Man, Along Came Zeus has just shot up. You can see how much the lag is on that market price. It's $30 behind the lowest listing. Definitely some sort of buyout going on there. When we look at some of these enchanteds, though, like even like an Anna, this is Anna's first enchanted. It's going for $95, right? So incredibly affordable. When you think about like a Prince Naveen, he's playable, so maybe he'll get a pass. But any of these that aren't playable, like I don't know if Royal Tantrum will be playable. It seems pretty decent. Like you can use this in combination with Popsicle and Fortisphere to then get an additional draw on those cards. That seems very, very beneficial. Especially for a 4 cost, right? You can potentially draw like 3 or 4 items off of that if you destroy 3 or 4 items. So, or you can draw 3 or 4 cards. But I could see the non-playable cards being like in the 60 to 50 range. Kind of think like Pete range, the redheaded stepchild of all character locations. Really, just all character enchanteds. Really, just enchanteds in general. That poor guy. He's down to 48. I think that we're going to see some down in this range. The low end has continued to just trend down. You can see Grandma Tala down to 57. Second star on the right, 54. Most of the enchanteds have evened out at 40. It looks like you can get a Bell's House for 35 right now. But you haven't seen these go below 40 really. Where's the wall at here? Is it on the next page? The wall 44, and then Ariel's Grotto 40. So there's the locations are holding pretty firm at 40. Anyone who pulls those is not willing to part with them for less than 40. But I do think that some of these enchanteds, if they are not playable, could be down in this like $50 to $60 range. And so that's gonna really hurt the value of a Shimmering Skies box. Now I don't think we have the chase yet, right? I think the chase is still yet to come. I think there's still a lot of upside here. There's still a lot of potential. But for the first 4 that we've seen here, like give me the set champs card over any of these by a mile. That was not the case for Ursul's Return. There was a lot of cards that I liked more than the set champs card there. But with this particular set, we'll see what they come. So far, we have no princesses in the actual set for the Enchanteds, and we've kind of got some unique characters that maybe don't have as much collectability from like an IP standpoint versus some of the other first 4 sets that had a lot of princesses included in kind of that core Disney IP and nostalgia. We're kind of mixing it up here, right? We're going off the wall a little bit. So that is kind of my thoughts thus far on the Enchanted reveals. Please let me know what you guys think. I value hearing your opinion and where you think things will land from a price standpoint, and then as well as just the collectability. Do you like the new art style? Do you dislike it? I love to hear where you guys land on stuff like that. Hey, someone listed a new Stitch while recording, $294 for a near mint. There you go. That is a steal if you ask me. So many of these cards are just so undervalued in my opinion, and I'm just a buyer right now, right? Like raw, especially rated. I'm still getting a decent premium for some of my 10s, and I'm fine with parting with them because a lot of them are easy to grade, and I can just continue to run this cycle of buying raw, grading, and then selling the graded. I definitely would not be selling any raw cards right now. I would be selling, graded once again. PSA 10s I think are commanding a really nice premium still. When it relates to the raw price of the cards, I mean, I've been able to get some just insane deals with people listing on eBay and then making an offer, right? If they have offers available, make a low ball offer and then meet in the middle somewhere well below market. I've had a lot of success there as of late. That's kind of the play that I'm running right now. Continuing to acquire raw. The sealed stuff is continuing to go up, and I think that is going to directly affect the singles market. I think that as we start to see sealed get creep higher and higher, that's going to raise singles because less and less boxes are going to be open. We have the first chapter sitting at 237 right now for low list for a we'll say good condition box. There is a store that looks like they got their restock and they've just got them all listed. So they have 6 cases available, 24 individual boxes, all listed at $240. So I think we're going to be at the $240 price point for a while. This seems to always happen. That $240 price point for whatever reason brings all the boxes out. and get some listed. So you can see there's been a sale for 239, 239 again, just even today, and then there's a few boxes at 237, and then we're up to 239 and 240. But I think this Wasteland Gaming, typically what we've seen in the past is when we have a quantity of 24 available or a high quantity, there's going to be a lot of people that come in to undercut that. Depending if they're just willing to kind of sit there and take the gradual sales as it ticks back up to the $239.99 price point. But there probably are going to be a lot of people who list at like, 239 flat, or 238, whatever. There's probably gonna be quite a few that list in that ballpark, and then we'll kind of continue to creep up to there. You look here at page 2, we are up to 270 now. With that being said, Peach Cravings, the StockX God or Amazon bot God, however they're doing it, they are 64 available on their, we'll call it like good condition listing. Man, I don't know what's going on here, because I swear, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, and obviously I'm looking at this more than most people, but I swear they've been at 88 sales since like freaking weeks ago. Since we even look at them, I feel like they've been at 88 sales. So I don't know. I feel like something's going on there with their ratings. But that's kind of I think where we're at for right now, guys. Overall, things feel very, very good. It's really nice to see the sealed start to tick back up, especially, I mean, we're still in July. We are still in like set champs for Ursula's return when these restocks happened, and we're already bouncing up pretty high. It'll be very interesting to see, can the first chapter maintain this 240 price point, and whenever Shimmering Skies set championships happen, which we're getting ahead of ourselves there, whenever the first set championships happen, whenever first chapter isn't restocked, I think that's going to be the rocket ship that's going to make it kind of go nuclear, if you will, at least back to the all-time highs of around 300s plus. I think 310 was kind of the market price that it peaked at. I mean, we're still moving in the right direction. 35 listings at $235. Low list, but there are plenty that have multiple listings in here, like the 24 from Missouri MTG, and then the 64 from Peach Cravings. There's still plenty of boxes out there. Definitely not something to FOMO into, right? As with anything in Lorcana, I think if you're patient, you buy what you like. You don't overextend yourself. You're not forced to sell, right? With collectibles, you never, ever, ever want to be in a position where you're over leveraged and you're forced to sell, because at that point you're just burning money. So take your time. Don't overextend yourself. Save up for a Stitch. Save up for first chapter box. Get whatever cards you like, right? Don't let me be your guide for buying. I think it really is important for you to buy what you like. Now, there's timing and things like that you can do, like Ursula, for example. It's a card that I like. It's a card that I want, but I know that I can wait a couple months and probably get it for 100 to 120. So that's what I'm going to do. But at the end of the day, I could be wrong, and maybe $136.99 is the lowest we ever see. I just know that there's still set championships going on, and there's going to be more of these on the market as it continues to shake out. But I do think that your set 1 and set 2 enchanteds are going to start to dry up a little bit, and we're going to start to see the floor price and market price of these cards start to rise a little bit here over the coming months, due to the fact that those boxes are just starting to dry up. The prices are escalating quicker and quicker after these restocks, and I think we're gonna see a direct correlation there with some of the alt arts that are pulled in those boxes. So it's definitely a good time if you're looking to collect any of those. I think now's as good a time as ever to get involved. Even if we do see another 5 to 10% retrace, I just feel like we're in a really good spot to be collectors right now and to buy. I feel like it's absolutely a buyer's market, and I would not be selling raw right now, but that's my own personal opinion. With that being said, guys, that is going to put a bow on this one. We will be back with another video soon, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.